left knee down.
Don't think that's worth the challenge. And it's second and goal down at the 1-yard line. 3 backs in behind, and Brom off the left side is into the end zone. We've got a flag.
It's a late flag.
And a late signal of a touchdown. Ryan Brom in behind left guard Chris Greaves and the former Rough Rider center Dominic Picard. And the penalty against Saskatchewan, so the Bombers have the first major score.
Points off the turnover. Execution issues for Saskatchewan on their trick play to Jerome Messam. The direct snap attempt recovered by the Bombers, and a couple plays later Brian Brom finishes it off. You see a face mask as well by Jeff Knox Jr.
So a costly fumble by the Rough Riders. Michael O'Shea's team takes full advantage.
Major foul, face mask, Saskatchewan number 49. Will apply the penalty on the convert attempt, half the distance.
That was the late flag from the back judge that we saw just as the touchdown was being signaled, and you did see it in the replay, the face mask from Jeff Knox Jr. and be applied to this convert attempt.
So Hiralahu will attempt a 20-yarder. Has had some difficulty from 32 this year, 9 of 14. Puts this through. It's a 10-point lead, just shy of the 10-minute mark here in the opening quarter as Brian Brom plunges in from a yard out. And it's a double-digit lead for Winnipeg.
The Packers, and guy who, when I talked to him yesterday, was real excited about this opportunity. He understands that some pressure on this team. They need to win, get back in the fight in the playoffs in the West. Plus to snap a losing streak on Labor Day here at Mosaic.
And as rabid as the fans are here, might be easier on Brian Brom than in Winnipeg, where he has not been very popular, but that could change in a week.
Yes, it can. He understands it and really looking forward to this opportunity. And mentioned right out of the gate, Chris, when I talked to him yesterday, he said, oh, it's Labor Day. It's different.
Kickoff sails over Dembski's head and out. No points on that play. So Brett Smith continues to try and get this offense moving against the wind in the first quarter.
Lots of talk after last week's game in Ottawa about the fact that Jerome Messam did not see the football. 3 carries for Messam in that, with a young quarterback getting a good running game established, so important.
Great feature on Messam that you saw during the pregame show. Play action fake to Messam. Out to Rob Bagg, and he is wrestled down at the 33-yard line by Bruce Johnson.
When we talk about the benching of Brett Smith and the firing of Corey Chamberlain, you take a look at his numbers from the last 4 games. I think the fans here in Saskatchewan were watching a guy slowly progress. Every time out, play a little bit better, make good decisions. We saw that nice touchdown throw in Ottawa. That's why they didn't like him being benched.
Second and about 3, and Messam powers his way close to a first down at the 35. Third in the league in rushing coming in, and second in yards from scrimmage.
Ask Bob Dice if he's going to talk to Jacques Chapdelaine about a little bit more of Jerome Messam and maybe even Anthony Allen. He said, well, Chapdelaine makes the calls. He's going to run the offense. But believe me, we're going to set up a system where if I want to suggest a little more run, we can certainly do that. That was Bob Dice yesterday.
Play to their strengths, if you believe that stat.
Absolutely.
Corey Watman and Matt Falk check in with the jumbo team on 3rd and inches. slide right side and get a first down. And it's her first down of the game for the Rough Riders. And he took the scenic route.
Yeah, it took the scenic route, got the first down, and got the first down of the game off the run game. Run to Jerome Messam, get him in good situation. Comes off the right side of the line with Jerome Messam, the lead blocker, taking a couple of bombers, and a 5-yard gain when they needed a few inches.
Rough Riders with only 14 first quarter points all season, and 4 of them in the last 6 games. Slow starters. Fake inside, and quarterback keeper up near midfield. Takes a hit from Leggett. But it's another Saskatchewan first down as Smith rambles for 15, which matches a season best.
Maurice Leggett the timing on the hit was good with regards to the fact that Brett Smith waited an extra step to hook slide. If he hook slides before that final step, the fans here are going to want a penalty. They think the forearm got up to the head area of Smith, but the timing from Brett Smith's got to get down a split second earlier.
First down midfield. And a quick hitter behind Pag, who pays the price, got hit by an old teammate, middle linebacker Sam Hurl.
There seems to be a theme this afternoon when it comes to the contact, and I think that has something to do with this weekend in Canadian football. And it'll continue tomorrow with 2 great matchups, but it starts here on Sunday. These 2 teams, they hit each other in this game.
Second and 10. Anthony Allen over the backfield. And Smith takes off again. And he'll slide right at the first down, stick at the 45. 10 more for Brett Smith. Well, I think the fan frustration since last week was the fact that Smith really showed a lot of game trying to fight his way back into it after the Rough Riders had fallen behind 14-0.
Yeah, absolutely, and was playing with intensity after the touchdown throw, was real jacked up, got his teammates jacked up, and then he got pulled.
First down, already 30 rush yards for Smith. Had 54 in a game against Calgary, and throws into the turf at the feet of Dressler, and shows some frustration there. He could have run again.
Yeah, he could have. Just some mechanics there. Just some mechanics on the throw, on the roll, and he knows it. He's a young guy. He's going to make a couple of mistakes in this game, as will Brian Brom for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But defensively right now, Winnipeg is playing that run heavy and giving Brett Smith the edge on those zone read plays.
Into the final minute of this first quarter, second and 10. Looks like the Bombers were offside, perhaps a free play and a drop football. As Naaman Roosevelt has his number called for the first time and can't hang on.
A good conversation yesterday with the Rough Riders' Kevin Glenn.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 93. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's Justin Cole in his second game, who jumped the gun.
The second shot here on second down. Brett Smith in the offense. They're going to call it right on the line. Kevin Glenn is a couple weeks away from returning to the lineup.
By the way, the answer to the trivia question, last Bomber quarterback to win on Labor Day here.
There it is. Kevin Glenn, 0-4.
Second and 5. Pressure on. Westerman can't bring him down. But Smith is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack as Sam Hurl looks like he has his 3rd sack of the season.
Messam was trying to pick up the stunt.
Holding, Saskatchewan, number 33. Legal contact on a receiver on the defense. Winnipeg. Penalties offset. Will replay second down.
So they'll do it all over again.
Bombers almost off the field, but for the legal contact penalty, Jerome Messam's going to try and step up here from the backfield behind Brett Smith, and and try and pick up that stunt on the outside. And Xavier Fulton had his hands full with Jamal Westerman.
Seconds ticking away in the quarter. 10th play into the win for the Roughriders offense. 2nd and 5. Zone read again, not going anywhere. Brett Smith is sacked. Greg Peach and Jasper Simmons, the newcomer from Calgary, in on the play.
Yeah, and I think it was Jasper Simmons who takes contain here. I mentioned the Bombers were playing the run and allowing Brett Smith the corner, but not this time. This time Jasper Simmons comes up the field, cuts off that edge for Brett Smith, makes him cut underneath, and then makes a tackle as well.
Not sure they would have tried a field goal into the wind even without the loss of 4 or 5 there. But again, it's early. Who will punt? Final play, barring a penalty here in the first quarter. Looking for the sidelines. A 34-yard punt down. Studemeyer is dropped at the 18-yard line. So the Bombers had the wind in the opening quarter. And they take advantage of it. Ryan Brown with a touchdown. And Winnipeg with a 10-0 lead after the first quarter in the Labor Day Classic. One of those games of Mosaic where the two halves are the half with the wind and the half without. And in that first quarter without the wind, the Roughriders fall behind 10-0.
Yeah, and the Bombers with the win get the 10 points. They get the 7 off the turnover by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now Saskatchewan has the win in the second. It also, and I believe it was Matt Dunnigan on the panel who mentioned before the game that this is a type that the O-lines can really establish themselves and get that run game going, because especially when you're heading into the wind, you want to establish a run game, eat up the clock as much as you can, and just take that time of possession away from the other team with the wind at their back.
So 10-play drive for the Riders help limit the damage, and now the Bombers faced with the task of moving the football against the wind gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour. Brian Braun hands it off, and there's the newcomer, Siobhan Walker, just acquired from Ottawa with his first carry, 8th in the league so far this season, rushing the football.
Talked to Mike O'Shea, the head coach, about how they want to try and use Siobhan Walker and want to get him as many reps as they can in tandem with Cameron Marshall. But they said, our goal is to get Siobhan Walker in space, get him outside away from that D-line, and he can turn on his jets and use his speed.
2nd and 8. And they'll screen it to Walker, see if they can get that speed going. He is stopped short of the first down, just across the 26-yard line. And it will be a punt situation for Winnipeg. So our first look at Siobhan Walker, who said you're going to see the old Chevy.
Well, he's got the breakaway speed. We've seen that, especially that first year, 2012, when he emerged and in a couple of games out of the gate had over 200 yards receiving out of the backfield. Remember the Hamilton Tiger Cats back then.
Ira Lahu takes some seconds off the clock. Picking the Nick Dembski. Decent boot. Dembski at the 47. Up to midfield and taken down there. Let's check in with Lee Jones.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. Jamal Westerman's having a great last 3 games. He's had 4 sacks in his last 3 games, and of course a sack earlier in this one. But he says that's not the only stat they look at. Defensive line coach Todd Howard likes to look at things that really you don't look on a stat sheet. Not just tackles, not just sacks, but getting blocked, double teams, MOPs, which is usually good in the CFL, most outstanding player, but MOPs for the Bombers means missed opportunities. And he's seen the defensive line start to grade better and better each game. So he feels it's not only himself, but the entire defensive line that is improving this season. Guys?
Westerman now with sacks in 4 consecutive games and 7 of the first 10. And the Roughriders trying to establish that ground game, and there is Jerome Messam. 6 for Messam on that carry. He had 4 carries, 75 yards against Todd Howard's defensive line in week 1.
It's a good-looking defense line. Get Greg Peach back in there. They're going to have their hands full with Messam if Messam gets a lot more of the football than we saw last week. But Jamal Westerman, if he did get credit for that sack earlier in this game in the first quarter, now leads the league in that department.
2nd and 4. Smith guns it across the middle, and Rob Bagg has the catch down inside the 35-yard line. Bagg moving inside, and a key snag here to move the chains.
And a throw that will settle Brett Smith in a little bit. It's the dig route right over the middle where you receiver and Rob Baggs going in the second layer, second level across the middle on a 90-degree cut. And the ball thrown low and away, so only he could catch it with Chris Randall in chase.
Bagg a season-high 4-catch game in the opener against the Bombers, and now the fly sweep. Weston Dressler cuts it inside and is dropped down on the 24. Hurl on the scene once again for Winnipeg.
Weston Dressler is coming around from the left side of your screen here on this direction, and Messam is going to be the guy who steps out and gets the key block at the point of attack. As Dressler comes around, Messam gets the kick-out block right there. He cuts up inside off the block of 33.
8 for Dressler, 2nd and 2. Ryan Smith in motion. And Messam straight ahead has a first down.
Clearly, Bob Dice and Jacques Chapdelaine have talked about getting the football to Jerome Messam more than they did last week in Ottawa. Just 4 touches for Messam. He's got 5 already.
Rough Rider first down at the Bomber 18. Smith dancing out of the pocket. He'll take off. Down around the 10, and he's forced out. Hurl again, and a flag does come down. And Hurl a little slow to get up.
Well, a couple of these hits on Brett Smith from the Bomber defenders have pushed the elastic a little bit. Their timing is
major
getting
foul.
close.
Unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, number 10. Half the distance to goal. First down, Saskatchewan.
It looked to me like Sam Hurl was falling away as he pushed him and kind of tripped him. I'm not sure if it didn't look like there was any malicious intent there. Pushed him and then they tripped up his left foot there when he was well out of bounds. Of the 3, let that one go.
First and goal at the Bomber 5-yard line. And throwing into the end zone, Dressler, touchdown! And a flag down, and let's see.
Late flag came from the far side of the field. Chris Randall right now for the Bombers is celebrating as if it's going against Saskatchewan. Play made by Brett Smith as he was going to scramble up the middle with his eyes up, spotted Dressler in the back of the end zone.
Illegal interference, blocking downfield prior to the pass. Saskatchewan, number 6. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Penalty against Rob Bagg takes the touchdown off the board.
I don't think there's any question. Rob Bagg right here is going to step up and watch. He's blocking on Chris Randall. That's why he was celebrating. Ball's in the air now, and he's still engaged at the top of your screen.
So first and goal back at the 50. Pressure on, and Smith throws it away to avoid the sack. The little pass was on the blitz, and Greg Peach turned up the heat as well.
Heads up play by Smith to get that one out of his hands. He would have lost about 15 yards here if Peach and Khalil Bass get there a split second earlier. But he does get it out of there. Greg Peach came free. And another hit taken by Brett Smith. Those will start to add up.
Second and goal for the 15. More heat. Smith ducks under. Not this time. And he is dropped. Chris Randall gets home. And Randall has his first sack of the year.
Good play calling defensively by the Bombers, because it's that initial heat that's causing problems for Brett Smith. They're getting in the passing lanes, and they're getting there so quickly that Smith can't pull the trigger on the crossing route. He wanted to hit Weston Dressler coming right across the middle of your screen, but the pressure was there so quickly. Justin Cole gets there again early. He makes him pull it down, and then his teammates rally.
So a touchdown taken off the board, and now Paul McCallum comes on, attempting a 32-yarder that's down the middle. Roughriders are on the board, but not the major score they were looking for, as the Bomber defense stiffens. One of those games always circled on the calendar every year. Bombers start at their 35. From the handoff inside. Cameron Marshall stopped by John Chick.
John Chick knows this rivalry well. We mentioned it off the top. This is his 7th Labor Day Classic, and knows that you can put the records aside and play some real intense football.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, number 68. 15-yard penalty. They will be second down.
Case in point,
It's officially Labor Day.
yeah. And there you go.
Dominic Picard, as familiar with this environment as anybody on the field.
And it's equally intense next weekend in the Banjo Bowl.
Well, they're going against the wind. Don't make the field any longer than it has to be. Second and 23. Here comes the heat, and Braum steps up, not going very far. Another tackle for Andre Monroe.
One of the changes and one of the adjustments in a short week for Bob Dice was to get a little more movement from his defense. There's Macho Harris to the right of your screen. Watch how he steps up and is going to show that he's coming on a blitz. Here he comes, shows that he's up on the line, and then he drops back out of there, trying to not be too static like they've been early in the year.
Monroe helping secure the 4th 2-and-out in this opening half. Iralahu, low line driver, might be returnable for Dembski, and here's Dembski breaking through, and no one's going to catch him. The Winnipeg native is gone. 60 yards, touchdown.